You're listening to Zaria's Cafe Corner, International Women's Day Edition. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Saturday and happy International Women's Day. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate all of you guys tuning in to this episode, second episode of Zaria's Cafe Corner. Today, I have some special guests with me. You know what? Before I say anything, I think I'd rather let them introduce themselves. So we're gonna start with who wants to take a gander at saying for something first? Oh,
I can go with Rip the Band-Aid off.
oh, there we go. Can chat here?
Hello.
Can chat here? Can chat here? Sound off.
Hi.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, as I was saying, please feel free to introduce yourselves and actually let the chat know what games you play as well.
Sure. My name is Sjouklynne. I'm a variety VTuber, and by variety I mean gotcha hell. I mostly rotate through a few of the info games like Infinity Nikki, Love and Deep Space. I also mix in some Reverse 1989, and the latest fixation is solo leveling.
Ooh.
And yes, the brain rot is bad. It's
Oh,
not
dear.
good. It's only been 48 hours, and I am done for. So yeah, I am a info analyst by day and a VTuber by night, and that's me.
Oh, seems we're having a little bit of sound issues, so I do apologize if the sound is not working. If you ever think that you're not hearing something properly, feel free to let us know as well. And all of you guys who are coming in to chat, thank you so much for the greetings. And also, just as a quick side note before we get into our next introduction, there is a channel point redeemed to ask the chat a question. Please read the pin to be able to know what you can and can't ask. And if there are trolls, unfortunately, you will get timed out. But let's move on to our next introduction. Kitty. Oh.
I wonder if that's what Kitty meant.
Kitty was having issues. That's okay. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yay!
Okay, I can hear now. It's not cutting in.
That's okay. Technology, honestly. But feel free to introduce yourself to chat and also let them know what games you play.
Well, my name is Kitty. My theme is Sailor Moon, so I go by Sailor Kitty. My people are called the Sailor Scouts or the Sailor Guardians. I play a variety of games, but as of late, I've been majorly into Final Fantasy 14 online. I have been playing for almost a year with it, and so far, that's my favorite game. So that's pretty much it about me.
Thank you so much for introducing yourselves. Just a quick information for those of you guys who are just tuning in. Everyone plays different games here. I met Lynn actually through Genshin, and then I actually met Kiri recently through Final Fantasy 14. So we're on a little bit of a broad spectrum here of gameplay, but that doesn't mean it can be any different as to, you know, what it is we do as women who stream. So I want to ask a little question. I don't know how long it's been since you started streaming, but I'm going to ask as to what made you start streaming. We'll take a, should we do a rock, paper, scissors to make it easier?
You can go first. It's all right.
I was gonna say I have this horrible fear of talking over people, so I will never go first unless I'm prompted.
Oh no, go for it.
I'm so glad you did not ask how long we've been streaming because I would have to do math, and that's a weekday problem.
Oh dear.
But for why, several reasons for myself. I was working in film and TV at the time, and so I had to hear my voice fairly often for like some playback stuff, and it was the most disturbing part of my job. And so one factor was I wanted to get used to hearing it and kind of
Oh,
sitting with it, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Hold on a second. Seems chat is not hearing you.
Oop.
Oh,
The
sorry.
irony is amazing.
I know, correct, right? All right. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to ask you to restart your answer there. Unfortunately, technology is not with us apparently.
Sorry, guys. Okay. I was working in film and TV at the time, so I had to hear my own voice a lot in playback, and it was just really uncomfortable to hear that. So one of the many reasons I started was to get used to my own voice and what that sounded like. And it's actually really surprising how much you learn when you have to hear yourself more often.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't know I had a lisp before I started streaming.
Oh,
I had no clue. No one had ever said anything. I've mostly gotten rid of it, but I didn't know.
oh. Honestly, I find that when you're streaming and you listen to playback, you find things you didn't know about yourself the most. That's where it really shines. Kitty, what made you start streaming?
What made me start streaming is, well, to be honest, it was me and my brothers, and we were just sitting around one day. We were playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth when it first came out,
Mm-hmm.
and my brother was like, "Oh man, we have like so much fun and so many like moments where we feel like the conversation be so good that um." It's like maybe we should start streaming so other people can get in, so we can get other people's perception and understanding and beliefs and stuff to kind of like, so that's pretty much all. Just to reach out to other people to get a better understanding and broaden our, our thinking when it comes. Because I feel like we were in a box and it was just the four of us. And it's better to have an understanding when you have more people outside of your box to gain an understanding of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I love gaming. That was another thing.
Oh, echoing? Paul's echoing?
I'm sorry.
Oh, chat is saying that there's some echo going on. Are we good?
Oh.
Chat, we good? I think we should be okay.
Oh, it's probably on my end over here because I don't have my earbuds in. Let me fix that.
Oh, let me see. I think I know which one it is. All right, I think I'm okay. There we go. Fixed it. Sorry, that was completely on my end. Technology. I swear, technology is like a thing of its own. But to follow up on a little bit about what you guys were saying about, sorry, you ladies. I'm gonna say ladies. I have to knock out that guy's habit now. To you ladies here is that you mentioned both about how you started streaming a little bit, and honestly, to get where anyone is after how many years or however many months. Lynn, you mentioned that's a whole math thing of its own. But for some people, they find that there's like that little bit of starting time before they actually become serious about streaming. How long was that like not so serious time for you before you start to be like, I'm gonna do this seriously?
For me,
Yeah. You answer.
oh wait, is she gonna go first? I think we should just do it, or she can go first and I'll go. Say I will always go last. I'm fine with that. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
No, you probably have a better answer. I was gonna say that I don't think that time has come for me. I still do it very unseriously, very casually.
It's the same for me. I don't. I just enjoy just playing the games and just talking to people. That was the main. I left that out. That was probably the main. Like the main thing was just reaching out to other people because I was very antisocial. And I felt like this was the best way for me to step out of it. So, I don't really take it too seriously. I just like to have fun and talk to people. That's pretty much it.
Can I ask a question to both of you?
Yeah, honestly, if you have questions, feel free to throw it
I'm
at
just
us.
wondering, did we all start during the pandemic?
I want to say I did. Probably.
Yeah, it's been about 3-4 years for me.
Because that seems to be like the common denominator. Like there was a huge boom in 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
Not just streamers, but streamers in general, which that seems to be the consensus is we were all just lonely. Yeah. I mean, that was definitely one of my reasons. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I had to get out of because I worked in a it was technically in the medical field, but I was in an
Mhm.
office, and it was very, very um anxiety inducing, especially because I have two girls at the time and they were doing online learning, and my mom couldn't really handle that. So I had to step back from working in the office, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to game and I'm going to play with people and we're going to have fun.
Nice. As an escape. I like that.
I actually started. So I just celebrated my third affiliate anniversary, aka Streamerversary. But
Congrats.
thank you. But prior to that, I think so. Spanning from February, it's actually February 4th, February 15, and then
Hmm.
the timeline from that was actually back in September, on September 30th. So for me, it was I started streaming because I started playing Genshin,
Mm.
but also because I wanted to just share with my friends what I was streaming, but then whenever I tried to do it like on Discord, it was so glitchy. I was actually a mobile streamer when I first started.
Oh wow.
So,
Really?
yeah, it was a whole thing, and I couldn't stream for more than 2 hours, so I always had to stay plugged into the wall at all times.
That's
So,
commitment.
yeah. And then it took me a couple, like maybe 2 3 months before I was like, okay, I'm gonna actually get serious about this and actually try streaming more often and try to commit to something. And then I decided to then I guess the lucky sign for me was just more that my I was trying to stream an editing stream, and MacBooks and OBS don't go too well together.
No, they do not.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I've been hearing that.
So my MacBook fried after that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a laptop and I'm gonna start streaming on there and play and start gaming from there. And then it just a month, like I think a few days later, was when I kicked off into affiliate status, and it was just like, wow, it's a whole leaps and bounds when you try to just really get into it.
Yeah, I realized a lot of people when it came to streaming, when I first started out, it was like they were like it took them so long to get affiliated. That right there, one thing I can say is that the smaller community is so welcoming and so warm and so just supportive, because
Mm-hmm.
I made it to affiliate in less than 6 months. So it was really, really crazy. So I kind of like, it's just wow, the streaming community is amazing. Once you hit affiliate though, it starts to get really, really like
Weird.
finicky. Yeah. A
Yeah,
lot
it
of
gets
people,
weird.
yes, people start to distance themselves. And then especially because when I came out, I told them, I'm like, I'm you see me stream and it may seem like I talk a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in my antisocial like thing. Like I'm
Hmm.
still trying to grow, and so I try my best to support and everything. And they say they understand, but then it goes left. But I didn't
Hmm.
let it deter me, and I feel like nobody don't let other streamers deter you, especially when you're first starting. I'm sorry.
Oh.
When you first starting out, just do you. Don't worry about what everybody. Even if the support stops, remember there's always going to be people that support you silently.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to silent support. I don't know why they make that a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Well, Ashley, on that note, I was actually gonna ask you, well, like, what was the reaction of, like, your family and friends when you said that you stream and you game? Like, I feel like you answered it a bit there, Katie. So I'm gonna have to ask Lynn then what anyone around you might have thought about when you said that you stream and you're gaming.
They didn't really get it. Mostly because it's for that again, it was during the pandemic, so
Mm-hmm.
I was living with family at the time. Um, and I've always grown up on the computer, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily online, but on the computer and just playing whatever. So that part wasn't new for them. Um, but me just talking out loud at it was definitely new for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of an adjustment of them poking their heads and being like, "Are you talking to me?" No, no, I'm not. Because I know you know none of the words that I just said. Um, it, yeah, I also, I it sounds so weird, but I really wasn't aiming for anything when I started. It was because of when I was in the pandemic, I just needed the sound. It's just so dark. I'm so sorry. I needed a reason to get up. I
Yeah.
needed something to do. And so
Mhm.
having a schedule, like a stream schedule, having a set time that I'd be on and doing this provided even just a little bit of structure to my day.
Mhm.
And that was really what it was for. And for that, the family was like all for it. They're like, okay, thank God you're doing something, regardless of what it is. You're getting out of bed. You have a routine. Great. So yeah.
Well,
But it's gone worse. It's gone worse because now too many family members know I stream.
uh-oh.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Especially now as a VTuber.
Yep.
My grandmother now knows.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
And she likes I make the joke that she likes my VTuber more than me.
Oh dear.
She didn't know what anime was before I showed her. She's like, well, what is it's like a talking girl? I'm like, yeah, kind of. It's like a cartoon character. And I showed her, she's obsessed. She's obsessed with anime as like a genre now. And I don't know what to do with it. She's 80. I don't know what to do with this.
Right. Yeah.
Wait,
My
that
family's the same. But if you see, like my mom, she watches my streams, and my mouth gets really filthy sometimes, and the conversation gets really, really wild. Okay, it's not my fault. The people that I talk to, my brothers, they're not sane. Okay, so,
Yep.
so
Yep.
I want my family like, hey, be careful, like that. And then when I'm here, you'll see my girls and my nephew and my brother. They all come into my room and they try to peek their heads in the camera, and it's like, okay, look, they don't want to see you. Okay, just go away. Support me from afar. You don't have to be right here. Thank you.
I feel like there's like a level of like when like say for Lynn with the whole like VTuber situation, I feel like by doing that it just kind of creates a layer of like we can be so degenerate outside of our personnel or like our features. But then I feel like when you're so on camera, you're so exposed, and it's like it leaves room for a lot of misunderstandings when people are like, oh my god, this is what you are on stream. Like, do you ever get that, Kitty?
No, not really.
So you're different off screen?
I mean, like some people just get like,
Not
oh my god.
entirely. Not entirely.
Uh-oh.
But yeah. I feel like I'm able to be more of myself on stream without too much judgment.
Yes.
But
yes.
yeah.
It's like this is the
For
reserved
me-
me.
Yeah, for me, I think it's because, well, I mean, full transparency, I'm autistic, so I find on stream as a VTuber is probably the most unmasked I will ever be, and so there's something freeing about that. And so yeah, I think maybe in like my work life and stuff, because my manager has found my stream.
Uh-oh.
Yay! She supports. It's great. It's fine, but still, she's like, you're so reserved at work. I'm like, that's because I'm behaving myself. I'm with other adults talking about important things, not, which daddy is hot in this game. Okay.
Right. Oh, don't even start that.
Oh no, I don't know if we want to go down degeneracy. It's too early.
Okay, fine. We'll save it for the second half.
We'll save it for when we stream in the nighttime, and then we'll have like a whole like after dark situation. How about that? I actually have a coworker who has actually jumped in on my streams. I'm not gonna say who they are, but they did try to low-key dox me by using my name backwards as part of their username.
Wow.
And
how much time do they have? Oh my god.
Right? Like, really?
Yeah, this is a national thing, and I don't know if he's actually in chat. I hope not.
That's crazy.
And I just kind of get like, oh my god, if my coworkers are watching my streams, like there's a whole level of like professionalism in the workplace, and then it's like they're in your chat, and it's like I am a degenerate, I guess.
And then you can't react because then you're just kind of confirming it yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, don't do that.
I feel bad for you guys. I'm so sorry.
To be,
I don't have to worry about
I'm
that.
lucky. My manager very much was fully supportive and was like bragging about me to coworkers, only ones that will get it, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like just so supportive, and to the point where she's actually started calling me Lynn at work.
Oh.
I don't want to be not my real name. Well, it is, but it's
Oh,
not my first name.
is that not part of? Oh, okay. I was like, that is that part of your name? What?
Oh yeah, full name Sjouklynne. It's my middle name, but I just do Lynn because people freak out at the
You want to
J.
know some fun fact? The way
Mm.
that you have Lynn spelled is exactly how the beginning of my name is spelled.
Ah,
Yeah, my first name. Yeah.
Oh,
I love
wait,
that.
wait. Is that doxing? Is that doxing? Are we okay? Are we okay to say this
No,
information?
no. Yeah, it's me saying it. I'm fine.
Okay. I
I'm
just
not
wanted
the
to
only
make sure
one
we're all
with that
clear
name.
here.
I mean, I'm like my face is exposed, so they
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm.
Everybody knows who I am. So
Mm-hmm. Well, we talked a little bit. Actually, Lynn was talking about it, like with in terms of having a job outside of streaming. Um, just out of and Kitty, I'm not sure what your situation is. If you do you also have a job outside of streaming, or do you just stream full time?
I stream full time. My mom is uh, um going through stage 5 kidney disease, so I take care of her, and
Mm-hmm.
then I have my two girls, and then my younger brother is a vet, and he's hurt, so I take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much my life. I just stream, and then I take care of the family.
Mm-hmm. So that kind of leads actually into like a little bit of my next couple of questions, because Lynn, in your case, you have the job, and then Kitty, you have your family. How do you manage balancing both taking care of those other priorities and then still managing to have time to stream? Like, where do you manage to make sure that you have enough time to do both without being like, oh, I'm stressing over this versus that? How do you do it?
I would really love to hear Kitty's answer for this because that
Oh,
sounds like a lot, and I'm so interested.
We're so
um,
invested.
well, it's actually really simple. I dedicate most of the day towards to them. So I'm up at 6 a.m. and I deal with my kids. I make sure dinner is on the table by 5-ish. And then about 6, 7 o'clock, I'm able to stream for however long I'm able to stream until I'm about to hit my head on my desk. So once I get there, then I rest and then I just rinse and repeat. And like today, it's a Saturday. The girls know how to cook, they know how to clean. I taught them how to do all of that. So they're very self-sufficient. But when they want bigger, like nice home cooked meals, then that's when I deal with that. But they pretty much, take care of themselves if anything. So it's easy to deal, especially when they know that this is my job, this is what I do.
Mhm.
Nice
So it's all about
and
like
supportive.
balance. Oh yes.
Hmm. Yeah, everybody chips in. Even though I do the majority of things in the home, they still allow me to get a break and do what I want to do.
Mm.
And that's so important to have your own space.
Hmm.
Nice.
Well,
Love that.
Lynn,
Mm.
do you have that space?
I would almost say I have too much space. I feel very lucky in that I really don't have a whole lot of things to balance with. I mean, yes, a full-time job, but I'm also very privileged in that I mean, I'm only a 7.5 hour work day, Monday to Friday, so weekends are always done. It's work from home. So, it's a matter of just logging off at 4 and wheeling over 2 feet and I start stream. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
quite literally living the life of like a 16-year-old, more often than not. So um, I live alone. I mean, I have family, but I'm single, no kids, so there's not a whole lot of outside demand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I also am someone who struggled for a long time with being self-sufficient,
Mm-hmm.
and like prioritizing and like taking care of my own space and things like that. So um, I mostly just made it a point in I think my community is very well aware of this. Of I'm not afraid to just cancel a stream night and say, hey, sorry guys, like I can't tonight. I'll reschedule for this. because I gotta focus on something in real life, like whichever. I'm usually very transparent about it. I don't really, tell myself, oh, I have to stream tonight, like because again, it's not really a job for me. It's a hobby, so it's
Mhm.
it's a little easier to just set it aside if I have to, than someone who, the consistency is key for a lot of people. So
Mhm. I should really be writing down these tips because I feel like as a streamer, I feel like I might have like in Lynn's case is like too much space, but then also like when it comes like Kitty was talking about like being able to balance it out in terms of like the scheduling in a way, it's I need to take those tips and just try to apply it to myself because I feel like I don't know what I'm doing sometimes.
I
And
mean,
yeah,
do anybody really?
no,
Does
no,
anybody?
we're all
no,
faking it till
no, we never know.
we're all just pretending.
Yeah, I did have a set schedule, but at this point in time, I got to the point where I'll just do it when I feel comfortable. If I'm
Mhm,
too tired to do it, I'll go in a Discord, say, "Hey, yeah, I can't do it today," and then I'll
mhm,
just not do it. So if you don't feel like doing it, then don't do it. Don't feel like
Hmm.
you have to do it. Like you say, even though it's a job, is you're your own boss. You set your own schedule. You make your own rules and stuff like that. Even as a hobby, it's still
Hmm.
a full-time job, I feel like, because you have so much that you have to keep up with and do when it comes to
True.
streaming. You have so
mhm,
much you have to pay attention to. So, it gets overwhelming at times. So you just have to take it like one step at a time.
mhm,
That's so true. You are your own producer. You are your own tech support. You're your own graphic artist. You're your own.
Hmm.
You are a one woman
Hmm.
band. It's true.
Exactly. So that's why she said it's a hobby. No, ma'am, it's your second job.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. Just gonna take a quick little look at chat here. Goodwill Gaming says grandma sounds like a hoot and a half.
Oh,
Oh dear.
I have a list on my phone of things my grandmother has said just because I need to remember them, and they are just wild. You're not wrong. You were correct.
that,
She's
that, that,
insane.
that, that, that's And also we
I
have
had
a question. Yeah.
someone.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead, Kitty.
I just had somebody in my chat. He said he hoped that the coworker is not a weirdo. Um,
Mm.
Mm,
the one that tried to dox you.
yeah, he tried to get me on Guild Wars too. That's all I can say.
Uh,
Oh
That's all
no.
I can say. That's all I can say. I really like in terms of anything else. If I tried to explain to him about even like games like Final Fantasy 14. So recently my character in game, I did mention and I told chat that I do roleplay as well. And
Mhm.
my character got recently eternally bonded. But some of my gamer friends, actually gamer coworkers, including the coworker that nearly doxed me, um, they couldn't actually understand this whole concept of like they were when I told them I'm like my character got is getting married and like so you're getting married. I'm like
mm.
no, it's my character getting married.
Right.
And you try and
They
explain
can't
it to
separate
normals.
the
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's a whole stigma I think, and I think that's also a later conversation as well. But I'm gonna actually, if you don't mind, I'm gonna actually pull back because there's some questions that are coming in chat right now, and I want to make sure that we tackle them before so we can learn a bit more about what you think
Mhm.
on these questions, if that's okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Venom 9 teeth inches 2. Interesting name. I'm sorry. I had to read that for a second. To read that for a second. I'm sorry, Venom. I
Good start.
Question for all of you. What is your favorite thing to do after stream when you have the time? That is a question from Venom.
He want the honest truth.
Oh, is there two different answers?
Yeah, there's always two different answers.
Do we want the streamer answer first, or do we want the streamer answer, or do we want the real answer? Let's do the streamer answer first, and then we'll dive into the real answer.
Okay. Favorite answer. Um, I
Oh,
like
the
to take a nice
Venom says the
bubble
real
bath
answer.
Oh.
and just relax. Just take it. A couple. Just take an hour to myself. Breathe in, breathe out, unwind, and just go to bed. Mhm.
I absolutely go to bed just like I told chat that I was going to, and immediately log off, roll over, and tuck myself in. Yep, that's absolutely what
Like a
happens.
burrito.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, what's the real answer?
Oh, I hop right onto marbles and do like 12 rounds until I'm like, dead asleep
Yep,
on my
pretty
keyboard,
much.
and I go work the next day at 8 a.m. Yep.
I get a nice glass of wine right here, and I go to town.
Can I hop in? Can we like sit down next to the kitty and just call it a day? Like just sit on the couch. But also, Lynn, I did notice that too last night after you got up. I have Lynn on my Discord, and literally her status exposes what game she's playing.
Oh,
And I was just like, I see Marvel Rivals, and then what was it? The next
To
game
be
you're
fair.
playing? You're
Yeah,
playing
to
like
be
two different
fair.
games.
that or Apex. I straight be on it, and I know I'm going to bed. Nope, straight to another game.
Yep.
Yep.
So maybe you're right. It is a full-time job, but it's like not one we meant to sign up for. We're just kind of stuck in it now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I want to say that my favorite thing to do after stream is probably eat, because sometimes I don't
Yes.
feel like inclined to eat on stream, and I like, even as a PNG tuber, I don't really, unless I have my mic on, which is a simple. I have one of those HyperX mics that you can just tap and on mute, but I don't like not talking. But then I get hungry because I do long streams, and I'm just like, I want to eat, but I don't like the ASMR situation. I like it feels weird to me. So then it's like sometimes I just have to be like, guys, I have to go eat.
Oh, that's when I throw on stuff on YouTube and we react together. And by reacting, I mean I'm muted and we're watching and I'm eating aggressively, but same while like unmuting every now and then, being like, "What are you eating?" and then moving on.
It
Yeah.
depends for me. If I'm inhaling my food, my camera
Yeah.
goes off, and I'm going to town. You're gonna hear it. You're
Mhm.
gonna hear it. I'm sorry. I'm hungry.
I've literally let food get cold. Like I think I had a coffee sit for 6 hours.
Oh my.
God.
And
Oh
so-
no, you have to change that. You come first at
Yeah.
all times. You know. Everybody's like, "Oh, I can't
Yeah.
eat and game at the same time." I said,
Add
"I
a
have
redeem
to. I have to."
instead of keep hydrate, but have another one. Don't forget your coffee.
I know. I'd like
Keep your
little,
snacks in range as well. You have to have snacks.
Yes.
and like last time, actually, the last time when that happened was actually, I find that there's a point where it got a little too much to have, like a little too late to have coffee. So then by the time I looked at it, I'm like, I had half a mug and it's already 4 o'clock. It's on a Sunday, and I have work the next morning. I feel like if I do this, if I finish the rest of it, I'm not gonna be able to sleep and go to work the next day.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, oh. So I think I need to take into consideration when you guys are saying like, just take the time to really just focus on self-care as well. Like I think that's also a huge thing, and people also avoid eating on stream because of like they don't want to be caught eating or like any of that stuff. How do you even eat on stream, or do you guys just avoid it?
I
I
eat on
do.
stream. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm human. I have to eat to
Yeah.
survive.
As far as I've been told, that's what was appealing to my community, is that I'm a person. So people eat.
Right.
Yep. Yep. As long as you're doing like in your mic, I think you're fine. I mean, don't go
You know what?
smacking. You know?
Yeah. When somebody says something like, "I hope you're not snacking. Is it good?" I will get close to the mic and go to town. I'm like,
Mhm.
"Sounds good, don't it? It's very good. Thank you." I'm a jerk like that, though. That's just me.
You know what I think has made us think that eating on streaming is bad?
What?
The rise of the streaming advice content category. Because good lord, some of it's helpful. Other stuff, I'm like, y'all need to go outside. Stop.
Mhm.
I'm actually gonna
Some
pause
do.
you right there because I actually did want to talk to you about that in a later point. But
Sorry.
I do want to make sure that we tackle some of these questions though. I just want, but like definitely wouldn't, because I do have questions about advice and whatnot. So we'll hold that thought for a second. Goodwill Gaming also has a question as well for you guys, for you ladies. What is your most interesting moment that has happened during a stream and made you realize that you love what you're doing? Loaded question,
Give me a
but
minute. That's a good question.
dude. Hi, Caleb. Thank you so much for naming first, and Dark also thank you so much for naming second. Welcome in, guys.
It's hard to really pinpoint because every day is a gift. It's always like every day is interesting. There's always something happening in my streams, especially when I'm streaming with my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I have three brothers that I play with, that I gang with almost every day, you know. And so when we're streaming or when we're playing, they're always saying something off the wall. They're always doing something off the wall. Like my youngest brother Andrew is like a favorite amongst a lot of people because of the things that he be saying. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to just narrow it down to just one moment when every day there's a moment.
Mm-hmm. Like not even in your chat or like, because you talk about like with your brothers, but like what about with your chat? Like,
As
is
far as
there?
the chat, oh, well, with that, it's hard to pinpoint with that as well. Because I have one specific person that comes to my stream every day. He's been coming to he's been following me since I started. He comes as often as he can, which is almost every day. He's always saying something, in the chat, but nothing really too crazy really happens, in the chat most of the time. It's just between me and my brothers because a lot of people just want to watch and hear and listen and see,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, but I just love gaming. So it doesn't, I just love gaming. So that's what the whole thing made me realize. Like, I just love what I'm doing because I just love gaming and having fun. It's simple for me. I'm just a simple person. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. No worries. Honestly, simple. Even the simplest answer is more than enough in itself. Lynn.
My I thought more of every year I do a New Year's stream
Mm-hmm.
because I myself am not a social big party person, not my
Mm-hmm.
thing, and I know that that time of year can be hard for a lot of people with loneliness, which I've struggled with before, um, and so I'll always host a New Year's stream unless something like big is happening, like emergency, which this year sadly there was, but I'll do a just chatting stream, and I have a thing that I'll do every year. I think I've done it for the last. Are we on the fourth now? I think where we'll do our goals, not necessarily resolutions, but just like things we'd like to do in the following year, um, in like career, relationships, finance, personal care, whatever, like just different categories. And I usually try
Mm-hmm.
and come up with 3 goals each. And chat will actually make their own like poster with me, um, and then we all post them in our Discord, and not to hold ourselves accountable, but more so like I actually don't even look at mine again until the next year in the stream, and we're like, okay, let's look back and see if we managed to like do any of it. And it's really fun to see not just myself, but also what my community has accomplished in that year. It's really cool to see together. And
Mm-hmm.
like I had one who, again, like Kitty was around for since almost the beginning, and I know not last year's the year before they made it a goal. They wanted to start a D&D group at their
Oh.
school. And their school had never had
Ooh.
anything like that before. They wanted to make a club. And I was like, do it. Like, that's amazing that you're going to take them. They've never DM before. They never did any of that. And they did the research, they did the work, they put it in. It was so successful that the next year when they left for university, a whole other group of students took it over and plan on basically just passing it down every year. And I'm like, that's cool to see it have like real world impact is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. I think to answer your question, well, from my standpoint, and actually one of them, the reasons is also in chat, is for me is seeing the viewers that have grown with stream. Caleb, who has a question coming up for us after, is one of the OGs of the stream from when I first became an affiliate 3 years ago, and it's seeing chat just grow with stream. Like sometimes they tell me, oh, it was my birthday, or like it was this and that. Like just having the viewership that who pretty much has grown with stream. I mean, I'm at the point where I'm asking chat, like, do we need to make this a 20, like an 18 plus stream, because y'all are getting older and degenerate enough that like I don't need to worry about censoring myself anymore. And I'm like, do we need to go to that standpoint? And a lot of them are like, yes. And I'm like, no, if I do that, I'm inviting degeneracy, and who knows where that's going to take us right now. But for me, it's just seeing the chat that has just really grown. I think that's, for me, is it makes me love what I'm doing there. And at one point, even when someone did reach out to me saying that, you know, they're going through a rough time, and they actually listened to my stream just to be able to get through all the problems that they have, like to forget all the problems that they have going on. And it's a whole, you don't realize what you're doing until someone tells you about it, that like you're like, wow, I made an impact on this person. Like this is their getaway from their real life, all the troubles that are happening to them. And it's such a huge thing. And I'm like, I need to be more better with my stream, and I need to be more dedicated to what I do. Like I feel like if I slack off, it's more like, why did I slack off? Why did I stop streaming? Why did I start streaming in the first place? And you kind of, that for me is, I think about, you know, those different things, those different factors of why I continue to stream every single day. And I think that for me is that wow factor, I guess, of streaming. It's a thing. It's a progress. Like, do you have any, like, do you have any like viewers, like have you seen viewers just age with your stream? How does it make you feel?
I see it when they'll do the followage command, and I immediately feel old. I'm like, I did not realize I had been streaming for that long. Not to mention that you've been here the entire time. We're both old. Oh God.
And Kitty, you mentioned that you also have someone like who's been there ever since you started streaming. Like, how does that make you feel as well?
It makes me feel amazing. Like I'm actually, because he's not the only one, but I know everybody else's situation. You know, everybody has a life outside of it. So I'm very understanding with that. Real life always comes first before anything else. And so, you know, I'm very grateful and very thankful that they take the time out of their busy days, their busy life, to actually just come and, you know, say hi, see how I'm doing, and, you know, grow with me on my journey to become a awesome streamer.
Kayla, Venom and Will, thank you so much for your questions. Just a reminder to chat, by the way, if you are looking to ask the panel a question, there is a channel point redeem, only 100 Mora, and you can ask whatever question you like. It can be to the whole panel, or even just one of us here in the podcast. But Caleb is asking, do you ever have to hype yourself up or mentally prepare yourself before a stream? Or is it more of a casual, let's turn the setup on and chill? Kitty?
Plug and play person, if that.
Oh, I was waiting on this first.
I've gotten it to such a routine that I do prep, but I prep like my memory is really terrible, and so I'll make a list of things like, okay, what are some things that today I was like, I should tell chat about this, I should tell the community about this, and just I have a list of things like, remember to tell them. Remember to let them know that this is something cool, or it ends up being a discussion topic that completely derails us. But it's one of those things where I'm like, it's almost like it's weird to think of your community as like that one friend where throughout your day, you're like, I need to remember to tell them this. This is funny. Because that's what it is. It's making a list of things like, I gotta remember to tell them this.
Caleb says making a list is so real. I can't even
I
make
literally
lists. I tried to, and it just falls apart. And I'm like, oh wait, did I tell them list? And then I'm like, okay, I'll just announce it in Discord. Kitty.
Um, do I have to hype myself up? No, not really. I just sit down and go for it. You know, it it's simple as 1, 2, 3 ABC for me. Even if nobody's there, I will sit there and talk to myself and be okay. So, you know, it's fun for me. It's just me sitting here gaming. It's nothing too serious. So no, I don't have to do anything like that. Just sit down and chill.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
On and like even just learning how to talk even when no one's listening, I find is such a thing. Like it took me so long just to be able to talk to chat, even
Mhm.
if no one's around. Like how long did it take for you to be able to do any of that?
It's easier for me to talk to myself than to other people. So it
Yep.
came naturally.
Yep. I say you just
Because,
tapped into my third and final reason of starting the stream because I would talk to myself all the time and it made it less weird.
exactly. Exactly. And you ask yourself a question, you answer, you're gonna have the right answer. You're gonna agree
Mhm.
at all
Mm-hmm.
times.
Just go like, what? Like, how do I do this again? Oh, like that. That. Oh, okay. Okay. Did I do this right? I wonder. And
And I sure did do it right.
it's such a thing, and I'm like, I don't know. If I think for me, I think I was
Oh,
because I was mobile. Oh, sorry, you guys are getting sirens.
no,
Um,
I'm so sorry. He was following. Somebody just followed me. Thank you so much.
so I just got an ad just as my name was mentioned because I had to refresh. But yeah, when I first came in, I was prepping and hoping to God I just to get in a good uni. And now I've built like my own chat bot by like 1 a.m. So I appreciate you a lot. And let me tell y'all that even if they don't say it, the chatters who've been with y'all for a long time also feel an equal level of comfort to see their friends up and able to chat after a long time, says Caleb.
Oh,
Oh, thank you, Caleb. Honestly, seeing
you.
you guys is such it's such a feeling of like being like, hey, how are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I see a
Mhm.
lot of well, I won't say a lot, but it's a few of those. You'd be like, oh, I'm glad you're okay, you're doing good, and blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah. So,
I've had a
So,
few come in that almost are self-conscious of how long they've been away.
mm-hmm.
I've had them come in and they apologize for how long it's been, and my immediate thought is I'm like, I don't care. Let me know. Like, how have you been doing? Like, what have you been up to? Like, I'm immediately such golden retriever energy of being like, what's
yeah.
happened? How are you doing?
Mhm.
Because I know that,
Exactly.
yeah, like you said, Kitty, real life comes first. And I want to know because, yeah, if you've been gone, that tells me your real life must be going, well, you must have some stuff going on, which I'm really excited about. So I'm like, tell me all about it. Like, that's,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mhm.
I want to hear about it.
And I think like there's like we especially since we a lot of us started during COVID, um, that return back to work kind of situation was
Mhm.
Mm,
probably like I started seeing people like disappear, and I think
Yeah.
that's where I was kind of like, am I gonna see these people again? Like, are they gonna come back? I hope they'll come back. Like, did you ever experience like the weird turn of people like just disappearing after with COVID? Like after COVID, like the whole like opening up everything again?
I don't think I
Um.
did. I didn't really have anything to compare it to, mind you, because I mean,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, actually, no, I did. I
Mm,
started off like really well. Like my
mm,
viewership was really high at the beginning. And then at some point it started to fall off, which was okay. I'm like, it's going to be rough. Like I understand that. There's some people who are streaming longer than me that still,
mhm.
trying to reach their goal. So it is what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
I
True.
understand that COVID did, everybody went back to work, but then on top of that, we all know that mental health was at an all time like at that time. It still is. I think people are still trying to get themselves through it, you know? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's down a little bit down. Let me bring that up for you guys so you can hear a little bit more better. But now that we've talked a little bit more of our our perspective of being as a streamer, and like what we've gone through, let's dive a little bit into including a little bit of the community here. And, what, like, as women, we're in a male dominant environment. But like, how do you handle the stigma of being the female that plays games in this kind of environment, so to speak? Like, is there any like people questioning like what kind of games you play or the kind of things you do because you're a female streamer?
no, I've never had anybody approach me with that mindset at all. Like a lot of people are more open to it because women are becoming more dominant when it comes to games. Like we're getting better than the guys.
Yes.
No disrespect to
Yes.
them. Like we're coming up right now. So, it's just for me, I really don't care about how other people feel about that as that is. I feel like a lot of people give too much energy into what other people think and what about certain type of things. So if you feel like as a female, this is what you want to do, then go with that. Don't let nobody deter you just because you're a female. That doesn't mean anything at all. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
I will say when um, I started with Zelda Breath of the Wild, and modded actually. I ended up doing like a whole PC thing because there was like a Second Wind mod that not someone, but a group had created that was almost big as an expansion pack.
Oh.
And it was one of those things where if you'd gone to the point where you were able to set that up and stream, there wasn't a whole lot of question about if you understood the game enough, because
Mm-hmm.
clearly that you've gotten to this point. It was only when I really got into Genshin to start that I don't even necessarily think it was a female thing because I've seen it happen to everybody. I think it was more of a new player thing, the backseating. I think being a woman kind of plays into it a little bit. But it was a lot at first. And I remember that I had to learn to nip it in the bud because I had a few people who I let just kind of do it for a little bit. And because I was starting out and I didn't really know the Twitch etiquette yet. I didn't know like is this normal? It's not. Um, and so I made it very clear early on. I'm like, unless I'm directly asking you, don't don't tell me to play my fucking game. Basically, sorry, I'm swearing. That was
For it, go
basically
for
it, though. I was like, just who asked, you know? So that was my biggest learning curve, and actually that came up recently. It's so interesting that you brought this up because last night when I was doing solo leveling for like the first time where it was like the game I was playing that night, that was my fear going in. And I'm like, I swear to God, I don't want to deal with backseaters tonight because this is a new game for me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
liking it. I swear to God, it's a new community. I don't know what it's like. As far as I'm aware, it's male dominant. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's try it. And honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. I immediately had some new people in chat and they were amazingly helpful in the most respectful way. And it was very refreshing, and I'm just so glad that I'm sure it's community dependent, but it hasn't affected me any further than that.
Oh, Kitty?
I'm sorry, my mic is being shared with my stream as well as
Oh,
Discord, so I muted it for
yeah.
a second.
If you have a problem with the audio, I think that's also happening to me too because even my icon is showing that I'm talking, but I'm not. So I'm like,
Oh.
I'm hoping that there's nothing going on there. But also, Caleb, Lynn, you're now gonna be friends because solo leveling apparently.
Man, this franchise is like a plague.
I don't know. I've heard about a lot of these games, and it's just kind of like There's so much going on, and I'm like, I don't know which game to focus on, but
I had no idea it was a game. I had no idea.
Yeah, I heard it was a
I knew it was the
game.
show.
I
It
know
turns out
I read it first and then I watched like the first season, but
there's a book.
you
there's a
didn't
manga. It started off
know?
as a webtoon. Yeah, I'm on
Yeah.
like chapter 180. Okay, on volume 2. I'm working through it.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's a lot though. It's so much to take in.
It's so
I
good.
enjoy shows, but I feel like they take so much out of it and it's hard to enjoy
That's
sometimes.
true. That's true. It's gonna get the next season's gonna get questionable because I don't know how they're gonna handle that with
Oh
the
dear.
whole international conflicts and stuff. That's gonna be interesting.
Oh dear. Kitty, your take on being in this kind of work, like a working environment, I guess, is now since for you since you're a full time streamer. What's your how do you handle it?
How do I handle
Just like being a female in a male dominant environment, just like because like we've the stigma of males being just in the gamers and whatnot. How do you handle like being out there?
um well, I don't really put like male, female in the forefront of anything. I just do. You know what I mean? Like I don't pay attention to it. I know it's a male dominant platform or whatever, but I don't think about it. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be some people, there's a lot of people who are okay with females doing the same thing and they don't look at it's not you don't really run into too many people who actually think that women shouldn't be playing anything that men are doing. You know what I mean? So I don't really think about it. I don't pay attention to it too much. If you see, I'm just a person who just I care about people, but I don't care about negative things. Because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if you let it, if you care too much about it, it starts to affect your mindset, and then you start getting in your own head and be like, okay, well maybe I shouldn't do it because they're saying this and they're telling me this and all of that. So I try not to pay attention to it too much.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Well,
it's worth noting too that a lot of Twitch's space like, as a site has so many bubbles that you
Mm-hmm.
could be in like a totally different side of Twitch when it comes to like the games you're watching, or even if it's not games, because there's things other than games on Twitch. I know it's wild, but it's there's a whole other realm out there, guys. And it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a black hole.
sorry, I'm also trying to correct the folks. So it's I think that I know for me, I don't play a lot of like FPS games, which I would argue are probably more male dominated, but
Mm-hmm.
like Kitty said, is definitely coming up on the female side. Um, I'm not in a lot of those. Like I play them for fun off stream, but I'm not immersed in that community when it comes to the interactive side. And so I just am not in those bubbles. And so I don't think I see it. And I do think that quote unquote cozy games are marketed more toward women.
Mm-hmm.
So I think by being in that bubble, I don't end up coming across it as much.
I'm in a
Mm-hmm.
competitive. I'm in a competitive bubble, so I'm the first
I
person
get that.
shooter and stuff like that. Like that was
Oh,
my
wow.
main. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Do we need to
I'm
try
still
an
afraid.
FPS one day?
I'm
Of
still afraid to
course,
turn on my mic
yes.
in Valo.
Let's do
I
it. Yes.
See, there's a dynamic here. There's a difference because like as you're saying, Lynn, like about the like the comfy gaming, and then there's like Kitty who's like all about the FPS, and I'm like, I would never be able to do any of that. I can tell you right now. Like even when Genshin, when I first started playing Genshin and started streaming, given that I was playing on mobile, and shout out to the bow users on mobile, because
for
how the
real.
heck do you aim on the phone? Because so I dodged anything that required aiming for like a good 2 years.
Well, you know,
And
Zaria, now when you do mobile, they have those little things that you can, if you're on the phone, you can connect it to, it's like a little controller.
mhm,
And you put your phone in the center and it actually moves for you. So it's easier to like aim and stuff with that. But before that,
uh,
people were just really good with that finger game. Pause.
oh,
Those are great for accessibility, but have you heard that some games are cracking down on making those like almost like considering them cheats, which is crazy.
Oh,
Like
really?
depending on how they connect to the phone, I'm like, that's insane to me.
Kayla's
Like we
calling me
have
out chat.
I see that. Oh, I see him say something about I dare y'all to play Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 champ here, sir. That's not a threat for me. I love that game. Come to me. Come find me.
Apparently, you need a better
Tell 'em.
challenge than that.
Hello. Tell me to play something like what's that? Oh my gosh, what's the name of that game? I see a lot of people play. I forgot the name of it. I can't play those type of games though. I can't
Like a
remember the
new
name of
one?
it. When I
Wait,
remember
is
the
it
name,
new?
I'm sorry.
Is it new?
No, it's an old game. It's like almost like a side scroller type thing. It's very pixelated.
Oh
Oh,
Jeez.
gosh.
like a what are they called? Are they called platformers when they're like that? The
Let me see
yeah,
if I
I
can
know you mean
see
the
it.
side scroll. Yeah, oh, I'm trying to think of an example. I don't play them either for that reason. I can't stand the
Even though
yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 is still a thing for me. I'm still learning that game. So I can do first person shooters and Marvel and stuff like that all day. But when it comes to uh-oh.
Don't put me on leap of faith because I hate those goddamn acorns. I can't platform to save my life, and that's even evident in Genshin.
Mhm.
And the fact that Caleb is calling me out for being a Zhongli main. For those of you guys who don't know who Zhongli is, he is a shielder, aka I can pretty much DPS while being shielded. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm learning. He's a Zhongli main. Please, let's not call out my finances. But
There we go.
Stardew Valley. Oh yes.
Yeah, I love that game.
I can't play games like that. I was like, what do
I
I
have like
do? How do
800 hours in that game. COVID was long, okay? I mod the crap out of that. I did a run at one point where I had 101 mods running on that thing.
Oh dear.
Oh my.
No,
My PC, like it was taking off.
I think that's why mobile games nowadays that are just like very like idle animation, like you just like kind of do things here and there and you just idle it. Like it's such a like you can spend so many hours into those games and it's just like it's Stardew Valley though. I like okay, personally I haven't played it. And I'm pretty sure I'm getting gasped in the chat for the fact that I'm saying this. But any sort of like world building, like home like house building, I feel like you could just get stuck in it forever. Forever and
I
ever.
played it before and I be on there for like 10, 12 hours just building houses and stuff like that. And I have over 20,000 mods, so I really be going to town. Like it's a lot.
True. Sit down for like a session of The Sims or like Roller Coaster Tycoon
Oh,
when I was a
God.
kid and then look back up. I'm
Oh
like, what day is
yes.
it?
What time is it? Did I even eat breakfast yet?
Did I
What's my
eat?
name?
Ah.
I swear I just woke up. Now I have to go to bed.
I always think of that. What was it?
Get 2
Zootopia when I
hours
come
of
out of the DMV and Judy's like, it's night. Literally that.
sleep and then get 2 hours of sleep and then get right back up and go right back to it.
Oh dear, that's the whole grind, isn't it? That's all about that's the thing about streaming and gaming. Cornbread actually has a question for us. To everyone, generic question. But what is it like? What is like a moment? Sorry, what is like a moment from streaming that you consider a top moment that sticks in your memory? That's a lot. I don't know what to pick from that. Kitty?
I have a top moment from
Lynn.
Cornbread's stream. When I let him know he's probably allergic to cockroaches.
Oh, wait.
Ugh.
Cornbread, you're allergic to cockroaches?
It remains to be seen.
Bruh.
He's laughing about it in chat.
Not allergic to chocolate.
Any
But my own?
Hmm.
I almost want to argue anytime like I do polls, like in a gotcha game, only because it's it's a top moment because when something big happens, I can be like, see, I'm not crazy. It does happen sometimes. It's proof.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Kitty, do you have anything like that?
I'm so sorry. What exactly is the question? I'm so sorry.
No worries. So Cornbread was asking, what is like a moment from streaming that you consider a top moment that just practically stuck in your memory?
You know what? I'm gonna sound like such a cornball. Okay, so I've been playing Apex Legends since like season 9.
Ooh.
And you know, they have those little heirlooms, right? And I was playing for a really long time. So it wasn't until like a couple seasons ago that I actually got my first heirloom shards. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's right there, that was cemented with me. I'm sorry, it's corny, but that's that's just me.
Apex streamers or Apex gamers, you know who to check out. Check out SailorKittyGaming. If you guys haven't
No,
already,
don't hit me up.
please,
Mm-mm.
please,
No.
please.
I don't even no 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 no. I barely stream it anymore. I just play it just to be playing it now, but because Final Fantasy has taken over my life.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate to admit it, I'm part of that gang.
It took over.
But so we've talked a lot about like also, so I know we keep talking a lot from our perspective here. And even we even talked about incorporating the community a little bit. But we're gonna dive into a bit of our advice corner here. So as I mentioned earlier, there's like a huge stigma around guys being the gamers. And you know, there's such a stereotype even on social media about you know, significant others being annoyed to see their partner always online all the time. So it's like from the perspective of a gamer, do you have any suggestions or advice for gamer wives, gamer girlfriends, or gamer boyfriends, like the basically the significant other of those gamers, on how to handle when like seeing their partner on all the time? Like how do you like do you have any advice for them?
Um, I would say communication. And also allow them to step as a gamer, allow them to step into your world, into your shoes, into, you know, just do things with them so that they can see and understand. I feel like some people learn and understand better when they actually experience it, you know what I mean? So, you know, if you just constantly just
Mm-hmm.
leaving them out, you know, share it with them. I feel like, and if they're not receptive to that, then, you know, just communication. You're gonna have to sit down, you guys have to talk and then come to a understanding together when it comes to that. That's the best thing that I can really think to combat that.
I
Mm-hmm.
kind of want to do a disclaimer that I am
Oh.
not in a relationship in any capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So this is coming from just an outsider's perspective,
Yeah.
but I would approach it, and this is with me thinking like, what would I do with a partner who's gaming all the time? Um, eh, I would approach it the same as I would if the partner was on like sports teams or something. It's the same as any other hobby, really. It's more, yeah, like you said, communication. It's establishing, okay, how much time are we putting for us versus, you know, our own one-on-one, like our own individual time? Because let me be very clear, I want to have my own gaming time as well. So if it aligns, beautiful. But it's, yeah, I think it's a yeah, communication thing. Absolutely.
Communication definitely it seems to be like extending no matter what the topic is or what is the reason. And I really resonate with that idea because, you know, we talk about how like relationships are always a two-way street, and how and communication is always what makes or breaks a relationship. And like when it comes to all this like communication about like talking about how to make sure that you also have your equal timing, where exactly do you consider as the red line or the line that cannot be crossed, or like the line that's basically if you reach this point it's not healthy, you would say, in that kind of situation? Like, where, like, in terms of like when you see someone who is like someone dear to you is on so much that they're not able to provide that sort of like, is it the fact that they're not able to provide you the attention, or is there like a certain line that you kind of just draw somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're talking about? Just amount of time they spend on a game?
Or no,
Or
just like
on
just in
online, I guess?
general, like where do you draw the line as like it's too much?
When it takes over your everyday, at some point it's going to start to cross over. I feel like, you again,
Mhm,
communication, but you also need to know um when it's time for family. Pretty much that's
mhm,
what that is. So you pretty much need to be able to juggle, this and family. It's like a job. Like you go to work 9 to 5, you come home, and the first thing you do is you hop on the game. Then what about your family? They're
yeah,
they're gonna want to spend some time. Everybody that's why we're in relationships, because we want love. We want to spend
mhm.
time with each other and feel. We
Mm-hmm.
want to know that somebody's there to hold us down. So I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
with that's pretty much, being able to juggle everything and everybody's understanding all the way around.
It's, it's called partner for a reason. Yeah, like, you're a
Mm-hmm.
team, and if it's getting to a point where you just have an extra person in the house, and that's all it is, it's like, well, what are either of us getting out of this at this point? Like, it's not,
Exactly.
there's no emotional transactions happening here. It's just in space. And that's to say too, I want to go back to the whole, if they are gaming a lot. I mean, it's also different, like, different folks are gonna recharge together differently too. Like, for example, I have a friend in real life who, their husband games a lot, like is on, like, guilds and has
Mm-hmm.
quotas to meet and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she approaches it like he's on a sports team as well. But she also, like, for them together time is just, like, body doubling, being in the same room, doing their own thing, but just within each other's space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is still for her like time spent together. So she's a total
Mm-hmm.
bookworm. Loves reading constantly. So she just, has her own little nook that's kind of like beside his PC setup. And so she reads, he games. And it works for them. Yeah, it's communication. It's what happens. It was whatever
Yeah.
works for you and your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. There's some people out there who really, really need that attention though. They
Hmm.
really need attention to be focused on them. So again, communications, because
Hmm.
everybody needs their own space to do their own thing. Because I feel like if you didn't, you'd probably go insane.
EQ needs. Yep.
It's not healthy. You need a healthy outlet. So yeah.
Mhm. Your needs got to be met. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And Caleb says, adding my 2 cents to that, I think it's also important to make them understand how important it is to you, or how much of it helps you relax. Like, even if they don't enjoy games, they need to understand that for you, it's the equivalent of they're watching a movie to wind down, or reading a book. I think that really resonates to what, especially Lynn, what you were saying about, finding that time, but also what Kitty was saying about how, we all have a different means of, or a different way that we want to have that attention. And I think it's also in that case kind of understanding what your partner's love language is. So if they
Mm-hmm.
are, quality of time person versus, like, I don't know, acts of service, physical touch, there's like all those, but that is a whole, form of its own,
Yeah.
I would like to
All of
say.
that falls under communication.
Mm-hmm. Definitely communication down to the wire. And we are coming up to actually our last question, but I want to make sure that, ladies, do you have anything that you want to ask, even for us, for the others in this panel, or even for chat? Do you have anything that you want to throw down in there before we dive into our last question?
No, no, it'll come later.
Yep.
That's for me. It always hits me later.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right. So in that case, this question I think is probably like originally I had focused it on the female audience, but I think given the rise of streamers lately, like new streamers I've been seeing these days, and I've just been kind of snooping around in all the categories and seeing, oh, like who's playing, like who can I watch while I'm working, even though I'm like half listening, and I should be paying attention to whatever paperwork is in front of me. Don't tell my boss, please. Um, but what? So instead of just tips for the female audience, what tips do you have for our audience that's probably looking to start streaming, or even those who are still fairly new to streaming? We'll give you a minute.
Don't break the bank.
Ooh.
Right away. Yeah. Especially if you're gonna look at VTubing, it can be expensive. It can be super. It can also be cheap, but it's one of those things where I'm like, research before it, get a bit of an idea of what even just the culture is like. Streaming, like Twitch etiquette, like know how communities work, kind of get an idea of what that looks like. Before really investing, because I mean, people started with simple stuff, like you said, you started on a mobile. Like, it doesn't you don't need a whole setup to start. And I mean, yeah, if you're not going to VTube, if you're just going to do cameras, or not even camera, just voice, whatever, give it a shot. I mean, the actual software is free. Go for it. Try it. You won't know until you try it. So
Exactly.
Kitty, do you have any advice you'd like to share?
Well, like Lynn said, you don't need a major setup. You don't need to spend a lot of money. Okay, you can use your phone. You can get you something, a simple laptop. Unless you're gonna go hardcore gaming, then it's different. But do your research. Make sure you understand everything and how. Look at other people's streams. Get a general idea of how you want to portray yourself to other people. Don't copy everything that you see other people doing. Try to make it your own. Try to stand out. Make yourself unique. You're already unique because you're you. Nobody can be you but you, right? And then, of course, just have fun. Don't let people get into your head, family, friends, whatever. Just do you. It's okay to take advice, but also understand that there are people who will try to deter you from doing what you want to do. Don't allow that to happen, and don't let it change you. Don't let it change you, or
Ooh.
yeah, that's my
Mhm.
biggest thing. Don't let it change you or your relationships that you
Mm-hmm.
have.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of
Mhm.
people let it break their friendships up because that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother
Yep.
stream. But yeah,
Oh,
People are
okay.
weird. People get weird.
That's
Yep.
tea of its own, I think.
yeah.
We definitely need to have that after dark situation, I guess.
Mhm.
I mean, but like we'll do it with like maybe a glass of wine. Kitty,
I was just about to say who's bringing the wine.
Kitty,
Should it
do
be
you
me?
what do you recommend for that kind of sit down? Because I think we need to all grab one and make sure we can sit down and just have that little wine talk.
Everybody has their own little taste, So the love of my life, he has like an amazing palate when it comes to different types of wines and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just like one of those things. You know how you get a subscription and they send you like a surprise, like, okay,
Ooh.
here go a selection of stuff. That's what it comes with him. He just like, okay, here goes some wine, babe. And I just drink it.
Aww.
And I just have a little powwow with myself, you know. He told me I should actually start doing something like that, like on a certain day, like just, hey, I'm drinking this wine. Let's sit here and talk about whatever. So I'll probably do that.
Mhm.
If you guys want to, we can make it a thing with us. How about
Oh
that?
yeah,
That'd be fun.
definitely. Honestly, I'm
Wine
up
and
for
wine.
it. Oh wait, wine and oh gosh, I feel like that's gonna be a new series now on this show.
Oh my God.
We're gonna make
You
this a
definitely
thing.
have to make it 18 plus.
We gotta like set a date and like make sure that it's at the same time every single time because you never know where the DJs are coming out.
Mhm.
And make sure we all talk about like what kind of wine we have. Unfortunately, there's like the whole like I think everyone has like we're gonna have to like figure out what local wines are near us, kind of thing, because Lynn and I are from Canada, so we kind of have the whole situation with
Oh, I'm so
yeah.
sorry. You know what? If I have
I'm a
this
rum
option
girly. I'm
back
gonna be
then,
honest.
Oh, okay. Lynn's set. You guys gonna have to you ladies are gonna have to tell me what to get, because I don't know what to get. I'm not a sommelier, but it would
now
be nice.
me, I like Stella Rosa. I don't know if you guys have that there, but Stella Rosa is delicious for me. I like fruity wines, you know. Like
Mm.
they have a honey peach that's to die for. It's oh, that's my favorite one that they have. Honey peach. Jeez. Their black cherry is good. So, you know, it depends on your palate and what kind of wine you taste because that you have that other end where it's for the extra grown and I can't handle that one.
The
Ooh.
Robitussin in the bottle. Those are good.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know what Kitty's gonna do after stream after this. Because
You
like
know
it sounds like
exactly.
yeah, it sounds like she's getting there. She's like, that sounds like good right now.
It's sitting right here. I just pulled it out. I'm about to go pour it. Mhm.
Let me flip to your stream real quick, ma'am, because I think I need to see this bottle for a better look. Okay,
Oh,
well, we need pictures. We need pictures. We need pictures. Where is it?
show you the bottle.
Ooh, let's see.
Oh,
I'm
Melissa.
curious. Oh, you literally got it next to you.
Yes.
The delay is killing me. There we go.
I'm so
Oh,
sorry. I keep a bottle near me at all times.
That's so real.
Yeah, when I say I'll be right back, my chair is empty. I'm in the kitchen getting me a wine glass. I already have the wine in here.
I
I do not.
I actually have this prank gift that I got from from an auction of like it was like a Women's Day auction kind of thing. Um so there's actually this glass. It's a very big glass where it's literally labeled can fit one whole bottle of wine.
Oh, you got one of those.
So next time someone tells you or like if the you know when you read those facts of like one bottle one glass of wine is good enough for you for the day. Here,
Yeah.
let me lend you this glass, and then you can be solid for the rest of the day, and we'll see you in the morning.
Please, she's trying to get me toasted. Okay, that's happening.
Mind you, I'm
I
a
will
beer
what?
girl. I usually prefer beer, so I'm like
Mhm.
new to wine still. So you gotta get me in there. You gotta teach me.
Of course, I was the Patron tequila girl.
Ooh,
All of that
mm,
vodka,
mm.
gin, Parmesan. I was that girl, Cavassier. That was me. Now I'm more refined. You know, I'm not ashamed. My birthday is next week. I'll be 36, so I'm literally like in the prime of like
Wow!
a classy girl, classy.
Happy early
Feel.
birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. You got a
Uh,
bunch of early birthdays this year. I like it.
Wait, Lynn, what do you drink, Lynn? You a beer girl too?
I'm rum mostly.
Rum. Ooh. Oh, she's a good
Yeah.
time. She's a great time.
she knows what's up.
Yes.
I didn't drink for a very long time, and then it was only after university I finally did, and I'm like, this is good. I found one drink, and I never switched from it.
That's somebody that knows themselves, knows what they want, what they like. They go get it. They do it. I love it.
Well,
What is happening?
we're gonna definitely have to like sit down for a proper conversation. I think maybe Kitty, if it's okay that your man kind of tells us what's on the menu for or like what's our selection, so we can make sure that we got the right one for our next wine and wine.
Yeah,
Worst comes
of
to worst,
course.
we'll try and find an Ontario dupe if we have to.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, if
You
we
know,
have
we can
to.
probably find something that you guys actually have there. He's that, really chill with that.
Ooh,
Really good at that. Yeah.
we're you know what that DM that we have together, it's gonna stay open. Just make sure we invite to the next party.
Of course. It's a party every day though.
Oh, of course.
So I know. Mostly on the weekends. The weekends is the best because, like I said, the girls they do their own thing. I don't like, getting too
There you go.
fried and toasted when they need me. But when they don't need me, it's me time. Leave me alone. Don't say nothing to me. Go away.
I'm totally gonna ignore the fact that Lynn just changed our group chat into the wine cellar.
Really?
She just did. When I was like, "What's going on in Discord?" And she totally just called it the wine
Love
cellar
it.
because that's what that's gonna be the rest of the season for this year. Like we're just gonna call it the wine cellar and just that's it. We have nothing
if we
else. We're gonna
figure
spill
out like
tea.
we need to do it once or twice a month or something, and
Ooh.
everybody just vent like, "Oh my god, this lady looked at me." And then she came and talked to me. Her breath smelled really bad, and I didn't know what to do. That'd be the highlight of my day.
Chat,
Sometimes, like,
chat. Who's down? Who's down? Chat. Who's down? Who's down for this? Because I think we're definitely able to turn this whole entire stream in general to 18 plus. Because we gotta dish out the real tea with wine.
yes.
Oh my god.
Yep, it is my
Oh, what
specialty,
about
so
Chad?
this
He
works out
said,
great.
"Let's go." He's all for it. He's all for it.
Oh, he just did he just say yes? Did he just say yes?
No, one of my you know what? I can actually let me see. If
Ooh,
you guys got a minute, I can see if because I know he's at work but he answers for me because I'm wifey. I will show up
of
and
course. See,
everybody out.
when they go like all for you, like yes. Oh, we got a phone call. We got a phone call. Hold up. We got a phone call. Is that gonna be it?
I have to call him twice because let me see.
I need to get a point in my life where I
Oh my
have wine
God.
recommendations on speed dial.
You know what? Right now, that's gonna have to be Kitty.
It's gonna have to be me. Oh, so much pressure. I'm gonna have to get myself in order here.
Ooh. Well, you know
Because
what?
I literally have some wine in there that I bought that I don't like
Mm-hmm.
too. It's just too strong as far not the alcohol wise, like the taste wise. Like it's very, very strong. Oh, he's not answering. He must be busy. He'll call me
Ooh.
back when after you guys go to say that you're going to bed, but actually go play a game. Yeah, that's when it's gonna
That sounds
happen.
about right.
Joke's on you. I'm gonna go play the game in bed
In bed.
In bed.
until I fall
Okay.
asleep and my phone falls on my face.
That sounds about
That
right.
hurts. Oh no.
But
More than once.
I know we got so derailed by all this wine talk. I feel like we're already deciding like this like setting up our next stream, our next podcast, and just making a whole thing. And we're gonna be like, we're gonna do it on this day and on this day, and then make sure it's marked in your calendars, and like even have to set up a Twitch calendar, and we're all
Yep.
solid. I think that's what's gonna happen at this point.
I'm gonna be waiting for those messages. Hey Kitty,
Kitty,
where the wine at?
Kitty, can you send us a recommendation?
Where's the wine, Kitty?
I'm
You're
gonna message you
not.
on a Tuesday and be like, "This work week, I need a reco, please," because
Of course, reach out
I'm
whenever.
already there.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to ask you like how messed up you trying to get? You just want to have a good time and chill? You trying to get?
oh, we
Well, I
have to ask that
messaged on a
question.
Tuesday.
You got to work tomorrow, or you just taking a day?
We don't want to work tomorrow. Do we? Is that a valid answer?
Yeah, I got you covered.
All right. Well, I know that we've been talking a lot. We actually got derailed a little bit with the whole wine talk. And actually, there is something. Oh, Caleb's heading to sleep. Caleb, thank you so much for stopping in as well. I actually wanted to add a little bit to the question on tips for streamers. And I wonder if you two ladies will actually agree with me on this. Is don't be obsessed with numbers, your view count.
Yes, wholeheartedly.
Mhm.
Turn it off. There's an option for you to turn the viewer off on if you're using like OBS or I use Streamlabs. You can actually turn it off. I try to turn that off and not get obsessed because it'll harm you
Mm-hmm.
in ways that you won't understand. That was
I
my
will
biggest
also.
thing at one point.
This is true, very true. I will also say though, it's a happy medium, as in like celebrate your successes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Um, because that is a big thing in the advice world is the numbers don't matter, which I agree. That's definitely my world for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know that it's not necessarily the case for everybody.
Yeah,
So yeah, take the time to celebrate your wins. Just don't let it be your only purpose. Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Definitely.
Celebrate it and then put your focus on something else and then move on and just every time you reach a
Mm-hmm.
major milestone, celebrate it and then move forward.
Yeah.
What's your is a glass of wine your ideal way of celebrating it? Because what's your next milestone, Kitty and Lynn? What do I need to like hop in and make sure that I'm part of this party?
Well, the next milestone, we were still talking about that because I had did my first one, which was get 50 subs. Somebody had donated 50 subs, and we
Wow.
had a little powwow or whatever have you. So we're discussing what the next one's gonna be, and then of course wine will definitely be involved, honey. What? Yes, indeed.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Lynn, do you got anything? You got any
Not a number one so much, but I do have the 2.0 on the way, which is exciting. New
2.0?
model, which won't be
Ooh.
till the fall, mind you, but yeah, rigging started this month, so yeah, it's exciting. I'm planning the debut. I don't think it's going to be massive by any means, but I'm definitely going to celebrate it. I was telling Chad last night, I'm like, it's like a wedding, you spent all this money on it. Goddamn right, we're
Yeah.
going to have a good time. So
I know, like if you put like all this effort into it, why not use it? Why not do it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, like even just having every little thing at your disposal. That's well, not exactly disposal, but like all the people who are so talented at what they do to be able to provide the tools that we need to be able to stream. It's just such a like a godsend in a way. Like
Yeah.
and once you get it, once you get the final product, you feel so relieved. And you're just like, oh, I can put it forward and now it's just like let the
Then you
rest
look
do
at the next
itself.
one.
And then you look to the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what next? Yeah.
What next? What
one.
next?
Lovely
Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
She's so cute. She's just been rocking back and forth, and I'm just rocking, watching her. She's so adorable.
It's the wiggling and then the soulless eyes of stare into them.
I feel like one of those little dolls that you kind of just like shake from side to side in your hand, like a little. When you're just like looking to hear like the rattle or something, and but it's just like a little doll just staring at you with his soulless eyes, and you're just like,
Oh yeah, now that you mention it.
It's a traumatizing thing. You like make you see that in your sleep though.
Her facial expression doesn't change. Oh God.
She doesn't.
No.
She smiles, but she doesn't. She only smiles and nothing else.
Right.
No thoughts. Head empty.
Right.
Smooth brain.
Smooth. Oh, it's like that the little like dog meme. It's like, no thoughts, head empty. Just pat the dog and just like,
Yep.
there's nothing in there. There's nothing in there. It's just there.
She's thinking about wine. Most definitely.
I think we've
Or
just settled.
rum.
We've just settled on that. I think there's no other way about it.
Vice president.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm sorry. That was my brother. He said Zaria looks like the class president.
I look like the class president. Oh no. Oh.
Oh. It's okay. It's very respectable.
Respect, yes.
Eve, if you're out there,
It
apparently
means you're going to a good college.
actually no Strider, if you're out there, well Strider, who is also a VTuber, who was also the one who I commissioned for my PNGs as well. And then Eve for actually creating the setup that we have here on stream for this podcast. So big shout out to them as well. Graphic artists, you're blessed, amazing. And I don't know where I'd be without you, because honestly, I'd be like, what the heck am I doing? But class president, I'm sorry, my DGNRC doesn't allow me to do that. I'll let you think what you see, but you gotta come to streams to see for yourself. Ooh. But on that note, do you have any questions for the rest of the panel before we start to wrap it up?
I have a question.
I
do. So, what's it like being a VTuber or a PNG? Because I love the community. Like, you guys are like, I've seen different VTubers and they're hilarious and their community is so awesome. And I wanted to do it, but I'm like, I'm already out here like this, so there's no point in me doing it. But I just want to know how is it like?
So I actually started as a camera streamer.
Really?
I did my first year with a camera, and then I switched to VTubing. The real answer, mixed bag. Design wise, my VTuber is very much like my little chibi, but not soulless. She is not what you would call, I guess, a lewd tuber per se. So when it came to like weird comments, I didn't get as many, but people definitely get more bold when they cannot see your human face, I will say. Very true. But it's also very freeing.
But yeah, I understand. You don't have to worry about looking a certain way and all that other stuff. You can be as comfortable as you want to be in your skin without.
It's like a modern day puppeteer, because it's like having a puppet. It's all your voice, and you're making it move the way you expect it to. Like, you really have to emphasize your face to get all the, the expressions to come through. So it's definitely almost more like a more modern, slightly more socially acceptable puppeteering.
I can actually relate on what Lynn was saying about how people are like a lot more bolder when there's no face associated with the streamer, like aside from the PNG. When I first started as a mobile streamer, I actually didn't have any sort of, visuals shown of myself. And then I decided to start picking up a PNG, and that was when I switched to a computer. But also, I didn't realize there were so many things about it, because there was like PNG tuber maker like sites, but then in turn there's the whole like licenses about using like certain PNG makers and all that stuff. So it was a whole thing when you're trying to make sure that you have the look of what you want to look and convey for stream. But it does result in people finding reasons to be able to say things to you. I did tell chat one day how one time I did a stream, totally normal stream, nothing happened crazy, nothing too crazy, and I log off, and I get a DM from someone saying, how about you keep your mouth shut? And I was like, what? Like, it's a whole like different world when you're a streamer. And like also again, like people say like things that they feel like because they don't have a face to see, and I don't have like expressions are rigged, so they can't tell how I'm actually expressing myself.
Right.
So there is that, but then at the same time, being able to be a PNG tuber allows me, there's like that sort of, for some people it's confidentiality, but also like to be able to create a persona of what stream is designed around. For me, my character is basically a librarian, hence why we have all the books behind us on this this scene on the message board. And I wanted to create an image that really exemplifies what I was looking to create for the stream brand. So for me, that's like, for me, it's more of I don't know if my look will really follow, but I think that having a PNG will help me follow that design of what I want. But also, um, I didn't have technological capabilities of like, you
Mm.
know, turning on a camera and doing this and that. And even like rigging, like for VTubers, they have to rig, but also use a camera recognition software, which I've heard from a lot of people is that sometimes it can really kill the computer that you can't even have Discord open.
Mm.
So for me, it's more like a little bit of that, but then also like, you know, where you say about how, where both of you said how like being a streamer and then people recognizing you outside of stream, like it kind of gives me that piece of being like, I'm here to stream, and this is my space to share with people, but not so much like my work space to come into that space.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. You still have
Helps you
your
separate.
everyday. Some people that are famous, they go outside. They can't even do their shopping properly because
Mm-hmm.
people. So yeah, I understand that.
You got your Han Montana effect, yeah.
Mm.
I've actually wondered also about like PNG streamers in a way that, like TwitchCon, how do they
Mm.
handle doing that? That's like we
Yeah.
Mask, more often than not. Face masks, yeah. For both like safety reasons and also just for their own anonymity. Because it's actually surprising how much how unrecognizable someone is if you just cover half their face. It's surprising. Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah. So like I've wondered those little things, but I even heard one year someone had I can't remember who it was, but
Mm.
they came with the mask on to TwitchCon, but unfortunately
Mhm.
there was some controversy about it. But it's kind of like, how do you protect someone's identity by if they're a VTuber,
Yeah.
PNG tuber, right? And to make sure that they can still be able to function normally outside of
Mhm.
stream.
Right. Yeah.
But there'll be a day. There'll be a day where we're like, I wonder if I go outside and will someone recognize me? That'll be a day.
I think that's the day I
think-
quit.
Oh,
Yes. Oh.
okay,
I
okay.
only because I barely go outside, like just as it is. I'm not. I'm an indoor human. I don't.
Yes.
Oh,
No.
I go outside
I
for
go to
festivals.
cons, but
That's it. Like when I need to go grocery shopping, take
yeah.
the kids to school,
Hmm.
doctor's appointments, and then I'm back in the house. I'm not
Nope.
really outside person.
Nope. I don't like crowds. I don't like.
But if you
It sounds
see
bad
me
if I say I
outside,
don't like people, but I don't. I
if you see me outside,
no, you didn't.
please know that my love knows jujitsu.
oh.
Okay. And if you and my dog is vicious, she might be 7 pounds, but she packing 7 pounds of pure violence. Okay, violent energy. So
And the
That
power
sounds
of
like a
God and
Yorkie.
anime on my side.
Wait, I've seen your cat too, your dog too. I'm like, wait, 7 pounds. And that thing
that's
has
it.
that much bite and bark.
She's right here. Oh,
Oh,
sleeping. She
she's.
had a haircut yesterday, so she's in her feelings.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh baby, I can see. Oh, I see her now.
Yeah. You wanna say hi to Miss Zaria and Miss Lynn? Say hi.
Hello, hi baby.
Oh, okay. She said
Baby talk himself.
yeah.
Oh, she's so
She will bark.
sleepy.
Yeah, and she goes everywhere with me. So if you see me outside and you want to cause some trouble, just know that we ready. Ain't that right?
Sorry,
we
I'm
are.
laughing because my roommate has been home for 2 seconds and the fire alarm is already going off.
Oh,
Oh
This
no.
man cannot cook without that going off. I swear to God.
well,
That's
Oh,
Lynn, did you have any questions that you want to throw at us?
I don't think so. Watch, I'll have some in like half an hour after we end the call, absolutely. But
right.
no, I don't
Right?
think
It's
so.
always
Yeah,
after. It's
sometime.
always after. Even the morning after, you'd be like, I should have said that.
Zaria, I'm sorry, I got another question.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself doing a different going out straying away from PNG to get something like what Lynn has?
No.
I heard the
thought
fire alarm too for a
No.
second.
we heard the fire alarm. We heard the fire alarm. I want to say no. I have thought about it, but then when I consider like all the costs associated with making a VTuber, so I actually have tried diving into like looking at VTuber and like how much would it cost and things like that, and that's expensive. Like you might as well just get a whole brand new computer at that point.
Right?
Go one.
And then also needing to make sure that your computer can handle it, because it's like I've seen all these memes about how people are like constantly like trying to cool down their computers with like such big fans, and
Can I verify that? Because
Lynn?
I don't think that's necessarily a thing anymore. Only because like I have a pre-built with like one tiny fan in it. It's really not good. I need to work on it. I have a plan, but
But Lynn, what do you do though? How much interaction as far do you game on it as well?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, she's
Yeah, yeah.
good.
And
Yeah,
what's worse
pre-builts
is
are
I also
very
stream,
powerful
and
now.
I stream with Starlink because I'm so rural. I have no other internet options,
Okay.
The fact
and
that
so
I don't
that shit
even know what
drops every.
Starlink is.
It's
Right?
satellite,
That's
so
how
it
it's
drops
like.
every like however long it takes for the satellite to rotate. So it dips. I'm constantly fluctuating my bit rate, and so my setup had to be so against the norm when it comes to OBS settings. Everybody says like don't use the dynamic bit rate because it normally would mess up someone's like stream. It's the only way I can stream
Wow.
is that it fluctuates with it. So it's it works. Like, I finally found it, but it was a lot of trial and error to figure that out. But there's a lot of ways to make it so that your PC runs no problem with like your games and everything. I mean, honestly, if you're playing like heavier games that are really like graphic dependent, it'll be a little harder. There's some people who like use their PNG when they're playing games like that specifically, and then they'll swap out their model like when they're not. So
Yeah.
it just depends. But yeah, there's a lot of add-ons to kind of reduce the load these days. Like there's a plugin for VTube Studio that'll reduce the demand on OBS, for example, called Scout. I don't even like adding it as a source isn't even it's like a fraction of the resource demand that it used to be.
Well, because like during the summer, and like I think some of my chat can probably attest to those for those who were actually here at the time. But like this past summer that we just had last year was so hot that I actually had to have a fan aimed at my computer because stream kept crashing because my computer was shut off from how hot it was.
Oh, damn.
So that's why I'm kind of like, do I really want to test the whole idea of VTubing as well?
Not to be that person, but have you cleaned your PC?
I did.
Okay. No, just a lot of people don't even think of it. And a lot of the time their fans are so like from competing with the heat. Yeah. I broke mine open this summer for that reason too. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
just because it was hot.
I even have a fan underneath it, like the laptop fan.
Oh, wow.
And then I have a stand fan, and I'm like literally aiming it at my computer. It's like so intensive, and when it was really hot over the summer, because like I live in an apartment, and it's like full on sunshine in the afternoon where it gets really, really hot. So I'm like, oh my god, this is like really like rough, because then I don't like streaming in the morning when I first wake up, because I'm like still waking up. Like who wants to hear me like be like, hi guys, like good morning, like who wants to hear that? Who wants
a shocking amount, I promise you.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, you'd be surprised.
Oh gosh, am I unlocking a brand new market by doing that?
Oh yeah. There's morning voice crowds, that's for sure.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, that's what, so like it made it so much harder, because I'm like, also I'm still trying to wake up, and like I find that I'm slightly more productive in the morning, where I can do all the stuff that I need to do before I get on stream. But then of course the time I get on stream is like when it's like, oh my god, it's prime time hot, and I like my computer just can't handle it, and I'm like, okay. That's why I started.
That's
That's why I mostly stream on I try to stream on the evenings. Unfortunately, because of my schedule lately with everything I have to do, IRL, I haven't really been streaming during the weekdays as much as I would like to. Chat, I will try to get back to weekday streams. I promise you. I just need to get around to doing it. But like, it's a whole thing. Like when you're just also trying to find time in your day to really do it. But back to your question, also Kitty, is that with all this graphic intensive stuff that's going on my computer, and even just the heat on the computer, I don't think I can see myself really following what Lynn has with VTubing, and I just have to kind of stick to PNG tuber.
Yeah, understandable.
That's fair.
But in the future, when you start rolling in the big streamer box.
Listen, it's been 3 years. I don't know if we're getting there yet, but
you still got time.
one
You
can
still
only
have
dream.
time. I feel like we're still, even with that being our number like of years, I feel like we're still babies in the industry. So we still got some time to grow, you know? So
that could be a good topic of
Rome
discussion.
wasn't
One of
built
those wine talks.
overnight.
That's definitely a topic. But we'll
Is
have
the
to...
reality of the amount of people that
Yeah.
think like, oh, you're a streamer, you must make
no.
I get
that's
gas money every month.
another.
That's what I get.
That's actually another tip I wanted to mention earlier for those of you guys who are looking to start streaming. Living on
Don't
stream.
come in making an income.
Don't come in hoping that you're gonna make a lot of money right off out the gate, because it's a grind. It's a grind in its own. Don't quit your day job.
Don't set yourself up like that.
Yep.
I'm thankfully able to do this full time because Tim, my love, he has a great job, so I'm able to do what I do, you know. And then of course I take care of people, so everybody is collectively inputting into the pot, so it's not just me, right? So family's amazing.
Especially with when you have the amount of support that you do, it makes it also more relieving to be able to do what you do. But again, don't go expecting that you're gonna make like
$1,000.
Yeah, and or that you're gonna live off it like on a month-to-month basis, which it's not gonna be
Every
true.
month.
Oh God, people who can
you
do
know
that,
what's a win?
Yes.
I just did my taxes, right? A win is when I do, because I have to enter it as self-employment, right? Because it helps you, write off like a portion of your phone bill and stuff like that. So I do it. And I'm happy every year that I could put in that I broke even. That's a great year. That's a win. Good stuff.
Always.
Then you want to do my taxes?
I use TurboTax.
Maybe
it's so easy.
Maybe that'll help me. Like I don't know. This last year was a little rough with because I had to. I kind of tried to update my setup a little bit, but I need a little help. Maybe I can actually achieve that VTubing dream that Kitty was talking about.
Wink, the dream that I have for you. Yes.
The dream. It's a dream. Now, but right now, the bigger dream is just sitting down for a glass of wine with the two of you and just wine and wine.
That sounds wonderful, girl. I am steps ahead of you. You already know.
You already got me going on and thinking about it.
I want to say, King, one of my viewers, he said he loves this panel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, let me just make sure. Love this panel. Okay, talk to him. Kaylin was actually saying that too. Like they were saying, this is actually the best panel that I've ever had on the stream, and that is like a huge, like I wouldn't say it's like a big accomplishment because like you two don't even know each other.
No,
you don't even play the same games as each other.
Exactly. I mean, we just met like maybe a week ago, if that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing. You know, I pretty much can get along with any and everybody as long as they're willing to be open to get along with me. You know, it doesn't matter what games you play, what side of the world you're from, your culture. Everybody get along. Just, it just is what it is.
Chat, we were not exaggerating when I said I literally met Kitty like a week ago. Like, I
Yeah.
think if I do a quick followage in your chat right now, it's gonna. Wait, I need exact numbers. 8 days, 20 hours. It's only been 8 days, 20 hours. Okay, chat. This is what I mean when I say like we only just met.
Just met.
But
And so this is the first panel that I've been on. So I appreciate you allowing me to experience this.
yes,
Same.
I'm
Yeah.
really appreciative.
I really appreciate all of you even saying yes. I know it was so last minute. And the fact that you all said yes, and I was so worried about whether people were going to be able to do this. But thank you, ladies. Chat, make sure you follow these two, Lynn and Kitty. Please, please, please. If you have not seen already when I shouted earlier in chat, I'm gonna do it right now again. You're gonna have to make sure you follow them. If you're not,
It reminds Zaria about the wine stream.
oh,
Yeah.
we need
Peer pressure. Bully if you
the
must.
peer pressure.
The pressure. Oh, I need to follow Miss Lynn. I have to do that.
Wine cellar, yes, cornbread. We're gonna be having the wine cellar, I guess, very soon at this point. But on that note, thank you, ladies, for joining me on this episode of Zaria's Cafe Corner, where we talk about women being in the streaming career. And happy International Women's Day. I don't think I actually said that in the beginning of the stream, but happy International Women's Day, and thank you for all that you do for this community, for not only just the community that I have here by being in our panel, but even for your communities as well, and for the games that you play.
Thank you for acknowledging
Thank you for the
it.
invite. Yeah.
And that will be all for today's Cafe Corner. Thank you guys so much for hanging out.